Launches it at the 6-yard line. Gets away from the white jerseys. Down the sideline to the 30. Yes!
Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, UND head football coach Bubba Schweigert will visit with us about his team's recent game at Southern Utah and a date at Eastern Washington on Saturday. Women's hockey coach Brian Idalski joins us later in the show. His team in the middle of a very grueling stretch within the WCHA, having just completed a series at Minnesota and getting ready to host second-ranked Wisconsin. We'll check in with the UND volleyball team and much more coming up in the next half hour. Our leadoff man is head football coach Bubba Schweigert. His team traveled to Cedar City, Utah this past Saturday, fell to Southern Utah 35-17. Bubba, good to be back with you again. This is a game really that turned in about a 3-minute stretch of the third quarter and fourth quarter when you had pulled within 21-17.
Yeah, it was something we battled back in the third quarter to get it to 21-17, and then there's one bad play in football on offense, and that's a turnover. We did that, and then they scored 2 plays later. We were disappointed in that stretch, and really where we'd been very good in the fourth quarter, we were let down this week by some of our own doing, and that was disappointing.
You were quoted after the game that you thought maybe your intensity defensively Saturday wasn't where it was the rest of the season. You still good after that, after reviewing tape?
Yeah, I think so. We just didn't have the same spirit on the field, and hard to pinpoint why, but maybe a little bit was them. They put us in space, and we had to make plays, and they made some plays early on us that put us on our heels a bit.
All right, Bubba, we're going to take a look at the highlights. We'll get her going with first half highlights coming up next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Bubba, let's recap your game at Southern Utah this past Saturday. Let's start with the first half highlights here. This would be a game in which you ran the ball effectively.
Yeah, it was our best offensive day of the year, and it's because we ran the football better. And here you'll see Jared bounce a play and get us a first down early in the game, and we were really off to a good start offensively.
Garmin would have a career day today. Good job of sealing the right side of the line here. Garmin runs for 12 yards. You get to the Southern Utah at the 41 on your opening possession. You go for it on 4th and 3 here.
Yeah, a windy day, and didn't feel like we could, lose a lot because they were into the wind, but just didn't execute the play as well as we'd like. And you're always going to second guess those decisions, but if you make it, you really keep the momentum in your favor.
Yeah, the Thunderbirds go to work on the ensuing possession. Amon Olsen completes all 4 of his pass attempts. He's going to finish it off with a touchdown pass here that caps a 9-play drive, and it's 7-0. And then on your ensuing possession is when Joel Mollberg will suffer his season-ending injury here as he's sacked and suffers the Achilles tendon injury.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Joe, and guys work so hard, and to lose their season, it's disappointing to see. But our guys will rally, and we got to move forward, and we got a lot of faith in Ryan, and other guys are going to have to step up and do the job.
Yeah, so enter Ryan BARTELS. And he goes to work, hooking up with Josh SEIBEL, who is becoming one of your offense's favorite targets these days.
Yeah, I just think Josh has worked hard and to study the playbook and learn where the holes are in the defense, and really coming through for us.
Zach Adler becoming a real threat, too, from the tight end position. 34 yards or into the red zone. Reed Taubenheim caps it off. You get points on the board here early.
Yeah, important to get points. We sure like to finish there. If there's one thing we need to challenge ourselves offensively, is finishing drives.
What was the challenge with Southern Utah, Olsen, and what they do in their passing game?
Well, this is one thing we needed to avoid. Deep balls down the field, and they had shown to throw it a lot down the field. Saturday, they just didn't throw it down the field. Everything was quick, and partly maybe to do with the conditions a bit, and we needed to adjust to that much better than we did.
Brandon Dranka, though, will get the quarterback sack here after Southern reaches the 26. Then you take over, and here's another 4th down play. 4th and 1 from your own 29. You run the fake punt here.
Yeah, something we saw that we felt we had a chance to execute here, and we got the look we wanted, and just came up a little bit short. And once again, we're into the wind. Tough day to punt the ball, and thought it was a good risk to take.
Yeah, and some of those are wind-related decisions on the fourth downs early, correct?
Sure, it was a lot like games at Old Memorial Stadium when the wind was tough, in the kicking game especially.
Right. Well, Southern Utah will take advantage of the short field here. Olson runs it in himself, and it's 14-3 at this point. Then your offense goes 3 and out, and Southern Utah is going to get it going again offensively here. They are a team that has been stretching teams defensively this season.
Yeah, in this possession here, we got them to third down twice, third and long, and didn't get stops. So that's what we're most disappointed about. And third and long, it's a defensive down, which we've been very good in. And overall, we were good on third down on Saturday, but that drive was disappointing.
Yeah, it's an 11-play drive. Again, the third down conversions were key for them in this drive, and they cap off with the Olson touchdown pass. 21-3 at the half here. You felt like, again, in the first half where you had some down and distance situations where you could roll the dice a bit on fourth down, right?
Yeah, I think so. And, we had been playing very good defense, and you want to challenge your defense that, hey, we're doing this because we're good at what we do. And just got on our heels and didn't play as well defensively as we have recently.
Well, you had a big-time answer in the second half, and we'll take a look at the second half highlights coming up next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Women's hockey coach Brian Idalski a little bit later on UND Sports Extra, but right now Bubba Schweigert and I are taking a look at second half highlights here from UND's game at Southern Utah. And Bubba, your defense really setting the tone in the second half. Jordan Hinojosa going to work here as Joe Mollberg done for the day and done for the season, watching from the sidelines.
Well, Jordan's been coming on as of late, tackles for loss, and this is why we brought him here to UND to make those plays for us.
Yeah, you're shutting down the running game here. Brian Labatt with a tackle for loss there. You have Southern into a 3rd and 11, and then Malik Brown will carry 23 yards. But again, Hinojosa inside. 3 tackles for loss on the day for Hinojosa.
That was good, and team-wise, we had 11 tackles for loss, so that usually means you're playing great defense. But here on a 3rd and long, we give up a big run play again, which was disappointing. But you just got to keep plugging away and sticking with it.
And what you did, this was a bend but don't break defense in the second half. For much of the second half, you will stop Southern Utah on 3rd down, then they go for it on 4th down, and Jake Disterhop makes the stop here.
This is our defense right here, what we've been doing a good job of recently on the 4th and 1, and we swing the momentum of the game right there.
And your offense then will take advantage of that momentum. You're going to go 84 yards in a scoring drive here.
Yeah, good drive by us, mixing up a little bit of the run and the pass, and Ryan was on in this drive, and just spreading the ball around again. And, you see Josh SEIBEL, just really like the way he competes and fights for balls. Big time.
9 catches, 96 yards on today. Garmin, 25 rushes, a big day, a career day for Jared Garmin. And then you get to a 4th and 1 situation, and Norberg rips off 34 yards to the 12.
Yeah, good job by the guys up front. Just give them a crease, and this is what you can get in short yardage. If you do a good job blocking it, you can pop a play that'll change the field position.
You talk about finishing. You finish right here with the touchdown.
Yeah, it was good. Jared doesn't see much inside and bounces it, and we get the touchdown.
Then your defense forces Southern into a 3 and out, and you're nearly going to get a turnover here on the near sideline. You almost get this fumble.
Yeah, this would have really created momentum for us, and Connor's not able to scoop it up, and we would have walked into the end zone there, and that would have really changed the game.
Well, you make a stop anyway, though. Hinojosa here makes a stop on 3rd and 1. You're going to get the ball back here.
Yeah, good play again by Jordan. Very active on Saturday, and this is what we need out of our nose guard position.
Then you go on another scoring drive. BARTELS really effective here. 5 of 7 on this scoring drive. 4 different receivers.
Was really efficient. Here you see Josh again, just finding the hole in the defense and moving the chains.
4th and 13. You dial up Dev Ferguson. You get 15 yards. Keep the possession going.
Yeah, good to see Deb back in the action and making a play, and we need him in there. He's a different type receiver for us.
Another key conversion, 3rd and 5. This time Tyree Ivory gets into the act, and you're moving the chains here down the field.
Yeah, just spreading the ball around, different receivers. You see Brandon Walker makes a catch. Now Tyree comes off the bench and does a good job on a 3rd and 5, and that's what you need to play good team football.
So you get near the goal line here. The completion is going to be to Josh SEIBEL this very late in the third quarter. He'll fumble, but Brandon Anderson recovers, and you at least keep possession here, Bubba.
Yeah, good hustle by our guys, and we always urge our linemen to cover up receivers and get down the field, and he's Johnny on the spot there.
Flip the side of the field, early fourth quarter, Garmin in. It's 21-17. You got momentum here.
With all kinds of time left.
Yeah,
and,
lots of time.
The game is now in our control. We have the momentum, and they give us a break there by the penalty, so we kick off from the 50 and can pin them in their own end.
And Dio Ito drops Olsen for a loss of 6, but you'll turn it back over here as Bartels is intercepted. This is called back, so it's not a touchdown, but you turn the ball over anyway.
Yeah, just swinging momentum right there, and not a good decision. We want to avoid that situation because a punt is not a bad play, and this one turned the game a bit.
So Southern Utah with possession, and they do finish the scoring drive here. Olsen to Sharp, and this is going to be a 37-yard touchdown, so Southern Utah answers now 28-17.
Yeah, and this was just what plagued us on the day, some missed tackles and not getting to the right spots, and that we haven't been doing this on defense. And here you see we followed up just a short time later with a huge play for a touchdown, and we knew giving up explosive plays for touchdowns would be hard to overcome against this team.
Right, and that play really kind of was the dagger. You could not overcome those two quick strike scores by Southern Utah late in the game.
Yeah, it's, now you're into the wind and you're 3 scores down. It changes the game a great deal.
35-17 the final. Ryan Bartels, strong day, replacing Joe Mollberg, 297 yards. Jared Garman, a career day. Let's hear from your players following the game.
We've shown it all season. We've been down a lot this season. We've faced adversity. We've fought back. We've made games close that weren't close in the beginning. And it's just this game we started coming back, and then another play would happen, and it would just shoot down the morale of the team. And that can't happen when we're trying to win games here in the Big Sky.
We had some good plays, gave them some bad plays, and our front 7 got in there and created havoc sometimes, and then sometimes we just didn't execute up front, which caused us to give up big plays. So, that's really how it went all game.
Oh, we did a lot of good things, but there's always stuff we can work on in practice and get better at, and it definitely shows out there that we need to work a little harder in practice this next week and get better for next game.
Bubba, Joel Mollberg is your 4th skilled player to have been lost for the season. R.J. McGill, running back Cedric Simmons, tight end Kyle Rule. Has that changed the complexion of your offense at all?
Not really. We know who we want to be and what we want to do offensively. May change us a little bit. Kyle could stretch the field at tight end a bit, but for the most part, we're going to keep working on what we're doing and get better at that type of attack.
Next up, a trip to Eastern Washington, the Red Field at Cheney. Eastern's coming off a loss. Vernon Adams, their outstanding quarterback, has been out for a number of weeks. Are you preparing that you might see him this week?
Well, the prudent thing to do is to prepare like he'll be in there. He's a very good player, top player in the country, and we need to be ready because it's right in that area where he could come back.
Yeah, a new challenge again defensively for you this weekend with Vernon Adams if he plays.
Very much so. Very talented, and they've got a lot of good skilled players. So we'll be tested, and we got to be excited to go out there and just put our best effort on the field.
Bubba, good luck in Cheney. We'll recap it next week here on the show. Coming up next, we'll talk some women's volleyball and also women's hockey with head coach Brian Idalski.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
No rest for the women's hockey team and the grinder of the WCHA. Last weekend, North Dakota traveled to number 1 Minnesota. This weekend, it hosts number 2 Wisconsin. Head coach Brian Idalski joins us here on Sports Extra. Brian, this is part of the league, right? Week in and week out, and you get back-to-back meat grinders with the top 2 teams in the country.
Well, it is what it is, and we talk about not only to our team but recruits. These are the games you want to play in. These are the games that help develop you and make you better, and so we embrace that and looking forward to a great weekend against Wisconsin. 2
very different games for you last week in Minneapolis, correct? Friday, a very tight game, 5-2 the final, but this was a 3-2 game until the final 2 minutes of the game, and then a 5-0 loss on Saturday.
Oh, absolutely. A couple empty netters and probably arguably our best game of the year on Friday, and Saturday we follow up that with probably arguably our worst game in at least 2 or 3 years. So a little disappointing that we're not putting it together for 2 full games, but pretty confident in our group that we're going to figure it out.
You're scoring about 2.4 goals per game. Is that pretty much who you are and who you're going to be as we look ahead at the rest of the season here?
We'll see. I mean, this has been a tough stretch. You're playing the number 9, the number 1, and number 2 team in the country in 3 consecutive weekends. The ice and space and making plays is going to be limited, and it has been. And it'll be interesting to see how we do putting the puck in net when we start to open up the schedule and play some other clubs outside the top 10. But for the most part, we're going to be a defensive first club that has to be opportunistic at the other end.
You are rich in goaltending. Shelby, Amsley, Benzie, Lexi, Shaw. Either way you go, you must be confident with either goaltender.
Yeah, that's a nice luxury. They're both playing at a high level and doing the job for us and giving us opportunities. And that's all you can ask for your goaltender. But, we're really proud of both of them. We think they're fantastic.
All right, the Badgers this weekend. This is a hockey team that's won 15 straight road games. They threw 77 shots on goal in 2 games at Bemidji last weekend. What are the defensive challenges this week and your defensive attention to the Badgers?
It's going to be interesting to see because they have a lot of young offensive talent. So that gives them more depth up front, probably than what they had last year. So we're going to see, are they going to trap us a little more like they did last year? Are they going to come after us? Forecheck-wise, and what they do and how we handle that's going to go a long way in determining the game. Decor-wise, goaltending is good. It's young. If we can get after that and get pucks deep and really stress their defense, I think we can be in some pretty good shape. So it's really going to determine that. Can we handle their pressure if they come, or can we handle their trap if they trap, and then can we get after their decor and attack offensively? If we can do some of those things, we'll be in good shape.
Are you seeing teams trap you more this year?
It's been hit or miss. It really has. Duluth trapped us for the first time ever, and we didn't handle it very well. So, it's practicing against it, getting comfortable with kids taking people on one-on-one and having confidence and just attacking with speed. So, it's part of the process. As the game evolves and everyone gets good and the talent pool increases for everybody, you're seeing more and more of that. It's kind of mirroring the men's side probably through the 80s and early 90s a little bit with our development as a sport. So it looks like the trap's more and more here to stay, which is actually kind of a downer.
Right. Yeah. All right, Brian. Friday and Saturday at Ralph Engelstad Arena, number 10 North Dakota, number 2 Wisconsin. We'll have Friday night's game live for you here on Midco Sports Network at 7. Let's talk a little volleyball. North Dakota hosted a couple of Big Sky matches last weekend. We begin with the Northern Arizona match last Thursday night. UND freshman Faith Dooley goes to work with the kill. UND up 8-6 in the first set. Later in the first set, UND is down by 4. Dooley with another kill. She led UND with 11. But UND falls 25-20 in the first set. In the second set, Sydney Kemper for Northern Arizona with the kill. The Lumberjacks hit .361 in this set. And North Dakota had a very difficult matchup with Janae Vanderploeg. She helped the Jacks to a 25-20 win in the second set. Vanderploeg led all players with 17 kills on the night, and she did it efficiently, hitting .424. It was 25-18 in the third set, and UND falls in 3 sets to Northern Arizona. Faith Dooley led UND. Again, North Dakota hit just .155 in this game. Fast forward to Saturday afternoon. North Dakota hosting Southern Utah. Much different tempo and pace for UND in this first set. Faith Dooley gets UND going. Efficient day for Dooley, 11 kills and 17 attempts. A milestone day for senior Lexi Robinson. She reached the 1,000 career kills and 1,000 career digs plateau, the 10th player in UND history to reach that club. Robinson had 12 kills on the day. She has now 1,006 career kills and 1,002 career digs, and North Dakota won the set 25-21. In the second set, Sydney Griffin going to work. She has now started the last 2 matches at setter for North Dakota. She sets Robinson for a kill there, then Griffin with the block. She also had 4 kills. UND won the set 25-20. In the fourth set, Chelsea Mosier with the block. UND limited Southern Utah to hitting just .085 in the fourth set. Anna Piaski chipped in with 8 kills. UND led with throughout the fourth set, and then Piaski seals the deal with that kill. UND won the set 25-19. They take the match 25, or 3 sets to 1 rather, and UND improves to 7-3 in Big Sky Conference play. Next up, a date at Sacramento State. We're back to tell you about our broadcast schedule this weekend here in Midco Sports Network. Next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
We have women's and men's hockey for you this weekend here on Midco Sports Network. Join us Friday night, Top 10 Showdown, as number 10 North Dakota hosts number 2 Wisconsin in WCHA Women's Hockey. We'll be with you 7 o'clock Friday night from Ralph Engelstad Arena. Men's non-conference hockey, Saturday evening. It's the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game as North Dakota hosts Air Force. We'll be with you 7:30 Saturday night for that broadcast. That's all coming up this weekend here on Midco Sports Network. Thanks for watching UND Sports Extra. We invite you to stay tuned for North Dakota Hockey with Dave Haxtell next, right here on Midco Sports Network.